Hey, so where are you from again?
Tennessee.
No, where are you really from?
Oh my God, like how do you eat with a fork and knife? That's so hard. I could never do that.
Hey, watch where you're going.
Hey, estás en California, güey. Aprende a hablar español. Cabrón.
My nanny was white, so I totally get it. Like, I feel like I'm part white because of my nanny.
Wait a minute, you don't listen to Taylor Swift?
No. Girl, I am like whiter than you.
Was it hard to grow up in the suburbs? It must have been really boring with no police activity or anything.
How come you only hang out with other white people?
You must be really bad at math.
Come on, guys. Don't you have trouble telling white people apart? Like, I can't tell you guys apart.
Hey, look at me. I'm white.
How do you say your name again?
Macy?
I love how you pronounce it. One more time.
Macy?
God, I could never say it like that.
Which do you prefer, Caucasian or European?
Oh my God, I hate spicy food. I feel like I was meant to be white, you know?
Your hair is amazing. You know, it's kind of like my golden retriever. It's so limp and lifeless. Like, how do you do that?
Oh wow.
Your name is so easy to spell and pronounce. Was it like really easy to get a job?
Your parents must have been super not strict. Did you just do whatever you wanted? Oh my God, 2 forks? That would look totally cute in my hair.
I love the way that white people announce soccer. I love it. It's like, oh, they dribble past the defender and goal.
You're white? I'm sorry, you're just not what I picture when I think of a white person. That's crazy.
Your skin is so pale. Can I touch it?
You know, I was just talking about that with my friend Jeremy. He's white too. So.
I don't even think of you as white. I don't. I really don't.
Good morning, Spartans. I have a question I want you to think about a little bit this morning. Have you ever felt not welcomed or out of place or like you just didn't belong somewhere? I have many times, and one of them was the very first time that I ever set foot in Lakeview High School. You see, I grew up on a farm. We weren't exactly poor, but my parents didn't have much money. My parents didn't go to college. I wore hand-me-down clothes when I was in school. When I grew up, I went to work at Battle Creek Central. Yep, that school. You know what Lakeview students in our community say about that school. And I knew at that time what the Battle Creek Central community said about Lakeview. I was working at Central when I first visited Lakeview High School about 10 years ago, and man, did I ever feel out of place when I walked in here. I did not feel like I fit in. People were nice to me for sure, but for some reason, I didn't really feel comfortable here. So I want you to think about when you have felt out of place, or like you didn't fit in, or uncomfortable here at Lakeview High School. I'm sure most of you have at some point or other, either because of your race, your accent, your sexual orientation, your clothes, your struggles with classes or athletics or whatever. There are a lot of reasons. We just don't normally talk about it. You know, I know that some of you are sitting there thinking, wow, that's so true. Some of you, though, are probably thinking, you know, I feel comfortable and like I fit in here almost all the time. If you almost always feel comfortable here, there's a really good chance that you are white, upper middle class, and straight. Like me, I guess. Because you're white, and because your parents have enough money, and because you're straight, you don't ever need to wonder about what people think about your skin color, what people think about your clothes, or how people feel about your sexual orientation. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and to honor Dr. King, we're going to spend just a little bit of time thinking about those students who don't always feel comfortable here, and what we can do to change that.
judgments based on someone's sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, and a lack of understanding for their background, so then we ourselves create judgments and make assumptions about that particular person.
Like defining someone by their race, not by who they really are.
You specifically hate one race?
Judging without facts or personal experiences.
Judging somebody based on what you think they should be or their appearance. Tolerance is, I don't know. Next question.
Tolerance is like, oh, that's a weird one.
Some people are, I don't know.
Crap. Putting up with others.
It's like accepting something that someone believes but you don't believe in it.
Accepting others for who they are.
Tolerance is being accepting of all people regardless of past prejudices.
People say I talk white sometimes, like I don't really understand what that means fully.
Someone tells you to act black, they want you to act like ghetto, or if they tell you to act white, then they want you to act more proper.
It means to play into the stereotypes that have been based around that race.
Like a lot of people think that black people are ghetto and talk illiterately.
Just because you're a certain race, you shouldn't have attributes or stereotypes given to you.
For example, saying like black people talk ghetto or some talk white, but I don't really think there's a difference. Everyone's the same.
You can't really act or talk like a certain group of people.
You can't talk or act a color or a race. That makes me so mad when people say that.
Some things at Lakeview that people are prejudiced about is like certain beliefs or actions of others and attitudes, or the way they dress and the way they carry themselves.
The way people talk, for sure. The way some people dress and the way some people look, like skin tone wise, it's...
People being gay, lesbian, transgender.
Maybe religious stuff.
Your race and how you view things compared to others.
Staff and students in Lakeview School District, in Lakeview High School specifically, maybe lack an understanding of people's culture, their background, things such as religion, ethnicity, race, gender, and because of a lack of understanding, we aren't able to fully understand who someone is as a person, so the tendency is to make assumptions and kind of create who we think that person really is.
People being closed-minded and not accepting to other people's views.
How they were brought up, who raised them, the type of environment they were in.
I feel like they have like a certain way of thinking and believing, and they don't really accept others.
Again, I think what creates these intolerances and prejudices is a lack of understanding and kindness.
Some people feel like they're better than others, and if they don't feel that you're better than them, then they kind of like shut you out and don't want anything to do with you.
Assumptions, like everyone assumes something just because of their race, but no one really gets down and just talks to someone and gets to know them.
Some people don't have the open mind that they should, and some people prejudge others without thinking of how they would feel if that was them.
If I was born another race, it would be really different, just because the way Indians are and then the way white people are, it's just like two different worlds.
Well, I would want to be born white because there's a lot more like privileges and it'd be less judgment.
Being an African American, we're part of the minority. Most people separate races by black and white, and I think it'd be nice to be part of the majority for once.
My life would be different because it would be easier to communicate with others and without being judged.
Change a lot. Like if I was born white, my life would be a lot easier.
It really wouldn't make that big of a difference for me because like I have a white parent and a black parent, so like I kind of got both sides.
I actually like the race that I am. I wouldn't pick a different race.
I feel like I'm content as I am. I don't feel like I'd want to be born into a different race.
foreign exchange students, poor people, blacks, whites, basically everybody if you're different.
People who aren't as like well known, or people who like the same gender, people that are like brainiacs and are really smart, and just people like that that everyone else seems to kind of like brush off on a daily basis.
Perhaps people that aren't outspoken or are insecure, so they don't feel like branching out and making new friends.
I feel I'm accepted at Lakeview High School, and I don't have a problem. You know, I love to come to school. I look forward to it, but that may not be the same for every person.
Exchange student from like the Asian continent.
New students, the female population, people of a different race that isn't white, smarter kids, low poverty kids.
The people that they consider like the weird kids don't feel comfortable here.
The minority of the people, or maybe like the LGBT community, because it's minority as well, or like people who feel like they're an outcast. I think everyone's not comfortable because everyone has a mask that they wear and no one really knows who they really are until they're out of high school. So everyone is discovering who they are, and that's why people are judged.
Ways that people at Lakeview are tolerant and accepting of others is,
I don't think people at Lakeview are accepting of others' differences.
If you can do something that benefits somebody else, they're more accepting of you.
People do make an effort to understand other people and get to know them, but I feel like, you know, on the flip side, there are people who don't take that time, who don't give people the time of day to explain themselves or talk about their background, or, you know, really explain their culture or their way of life to other people.
I think like our school is bad with bullying and like different race and not accepting people for who they are.
I've noticed that now a lot of people are really comfortable with everyone, like they let other races join them, and it doesn't matter who they are, they just are accepting of everyone.
If they don't know them, they will help them if they need help, they'll talk to them nicely, they'll say hey, what's up, you know.
Acceptance on people's religion, other cultures, and just on what they believe in general.
We're definitely a lot more accepting of new people. We like to branch out and try to build new relationships.
Maybe just saying hi and then just talking to them.
Just a friendly smile and just a nice wave and see how you're doing.
Accept people for who they are, don't try to change them.
I think making an effort to actually talk to them is for sure the way to do it.
and all the negative comments and racial slurs.
I think just saying like a simple like hello or some type of greeting to someone could really make someone's day.
Kindness, I feel like if everyone can treat each other with respect, you know, it's like we learned in kindergarten, treat each other, you know, treat other people the way you want to be treated, and actually got to know someone at a deeper, more meaningful level, then we'd understand who they are as a person and what they stand for.
Treat them nicely, treat them like they're equal to you, treat them as if they're not any different, as if they're human.
As teenagers and adults, we all experience situations in our lives where we need to confront people who are participating in oppressive or hurtful behaviors.
It's common to feel angry in these situations and want to correct the hurtful language or even verbally attack the person.
But exhibiting this type of aggressive behavior towards them may cause them to become more defensive or even deny the behavior.
If we want to stay connected, especially through times of tension and difficult decisions, we need to respond differently. So here are some approaches to positive confrontation.
Be aware of yourself. It's difficult to confront others when acting out of anger or fear. Take a deep breath and be mindful of your thoughts and feelings before speaking. Use whatever strategies work for you as you keep in mind the results you want to achieve. Find your center of powerfulness. Draw strength from your wisdom, confidence, and sense personal power to impact positive change. Decide to confront publicly or privately. Think about how you want to be confronted when you've done something to hurt or offend someone. A more public intervention may be appropriate if the hurtful language or behaviors happen in front of others. The goal is not to embarrass, but to educate and challenge from a place of support. Be respectful and constructive. Don't blame or shame people when they've made a mistake. Model what you want to see from others to promote growth, healing, and learning. Practice deep listening and seek to understand more fully what's happening with everyone involved. Your goal is to stay in the right relationship with others. Be clear. Be sure that the person you're confronting knows what language or behavior is being questioned. You may need to repeat the offense.
Use I statements. Own your own thoughts and feelings and resist the temptation to say you make me angry. I statements help us speak from our own perspective and avoid blaming language that often makes others feel defensive. Connect your I messages to your feelings to promote empathy.
Use softening statements. Softening statements help us hear feedback and reduce the tendency for people to become defensive. A softening statement shows the person you're confronting that you care about them and are concerned about their behavior. Examples of softening statements are, I care about you, and I know you wouldn't want to intentionally hurt others, and I'm concerned about. Or, I can relate to what you're saying because I used to believe that too. I've come to more deeply understand the way white privilege has and continues to open doors for me.
Provide accurate information. Take the opportunity to provide important information. For example, if young people say, that's so gay, they may not understand that using that phrase is hurtful to others. Provide accurate information, such as, when you say that's so gay, you're really saying that's so stupid. Using the word gay in that way is a slur against a whole group of people who are lesbian and gay, and it's hurtful and offensive. Let's practice affirming people more and hurting people less through our language.
Invite further discussion. Remember that one conversation or confrontation may not create lasting change. Let others know that you are available to them and that you are open to keeping the conversation going. Remember that our goal is to stay in right relationship with others.
Remember that silence is content. Not speaking up communicates that we don't care. Silence communicates that the hurtful behavior is acceptable. We all have a responsibility to speak up to interrupt hateful, hurtful, and oppressive comments. So if you hear or see something that makes you or someone else feel uncomfortable, make sure to do the right thing, Spartans.
I have a dream. One day, this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all